Hey guys, so I'm going to try to record this real quick before my phone goes out. I tend to, as you guys have noticed, if my phone goes out before my phone dies, if you haven't noticed, I tend to ramble a lot. So I've already picked up some cards. So far, the short, simple message that I'm going to have right now for you guys is this coming eclipse is the full moon solar eclipse, right? So, I'm sorry. Right? Yeah, is the full moon solar eclipse. The first eclipse we had was the new moon eclipse. That was the eclipse that you were supposed to get rid of everything that you didn't want in your life. This full moon eclipse is going to be bringing things in, and then the following eclipse is going to be the one that, I guess, just kind of like nudges it in there, like makes it stick, is the way that I've been thinking about things and been seeing things. So the one thing that I noticed, I've got 6 cards right here in front of me. The first is the World in the Hierophant, and the first 5 cards are my Jane Austen Tarot deck by Jackie Oakley. The other deck I'm using is the Tarot of Magical Correspondence by Eugene Vaninsky. So the first 2 cards that popped out were the Hierophant and the World card. Now this to me speaks that this is what we're coming into. This is what is awaiting the judgment, what is awaiting what's coming. This is what you are going to be bringing into your world. This is what's going to be coming in. Is you're coming into your abilities, you're coming into your highest self, you're coming into that union that needs to happen. Or the other way to put it is that the world is coming into its union. Now, we've always been taught that there is an up and a down, a heaven and a hell, a left and a right and a wrong. So with that being said, we know that there is a man and a woman. There's a divine masculine and a divine feminine. For the entire world, we have been embracing the darker side of the masculine. We've got war and famine and death and just overall, actually, scratch that. I take that back. That is the negative side of the feminine, okay? We all know that us as females are psychotic, okay? Let's be honest. I'm crazy. You're crazy. It happens. It's life, right? So, with that being said, we know that women have always been able to feel things for more than what anybody else can. The fact that we're coming into a union, and the only thing I can say is go check out Wrestling Around on YouTube. He has a lot of amazing videos. He does his tarot readings by Chinese zodiac sign. So for me, for instance, I was born in 94. I am a dog, so those are the ones that I tend to watch. However, with that being said, I also tend to watch whatever title resonates with me. I've always been like that. And for those who are wondering, I am a Sagittarius Sun, Pisces Moon, and Libra Rising, which means, again, I am a balance. That was the one thing that I have to focus on. The way that I've always thought about it is your rising is what you're ascending to, what your greatest higher purpose is, what you're coming into. So that would be, for me, is finding the balance in my life. Particularly in regards to personal things, is what I have to do. But I do notice that in the other 3 cards that came out for this one are Judgment, which in her deck is Awakening. Then we've got the 9 of Spades, which is all about anxiety and the fearfulness of things that have come, the things that have passed, everything. Just overall encompassing anxiety and fear. And then the 5 of Spades, which is all about betrayal, somebody who pretends to be somebody that they're not. So the 2 messages that I'm picking up from this is that we've got people who are coming out of this, that are coming out of pretending to be somebody that they're not. They don't realize that they have lived their life according to what they have been told, not what they believe. They are fearful for what it is that's coming. They are fearful for what it is they're leaving behind because it's what they know. It's all they've ever known. Which is why in this particular card, she's looking back at this. She's not paying attention to him over here. She's not paying attention to him, which is where she needs to be going. She needs to be going to come up over here, to come into that union so that together they can fix the world. So together we all can fix the world. Now, we've got the Empress card that came out in my Magical Correspondence deck. Now, on this particular card, we see there's a doorway. There is a staff in the middle, which looks like it's got all of the colors of your chakras plus more. There seems to be tying of the knots, illuminating intelligence. It means coming into yourself, again, coming into what is basically being broadcasted over the waves that we have honestly just blocked out of our lives. We are so focused on what we want, what we're gaining, rather than what's actually in front of us. You know, so many people say, well, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Some people are like, oh, well, yeah, it is. Some people are like, oh, no, it's not. Well, the truth is the grass is green wherever you water it, okay? The grass is going to be green wherever you put that effort into. So if you put the effort into fixing things in your life, into coming into the new person, coming into the new timeline, not being afraid and just letting it go, okay? We've got so many people in this day and age who have literally been stuck in the same motion of life for the last decade. And things are coming, things are happening. Triumphal and internal intelligence, absolute and perfect intelligence. And again, we got the Hierophant card again with the 8 of coins. Oh, there's something in my eyeball. Now, the 8 of coins, he is seen here hammering down something. You've got what appears to be Venus, I'm assuming. Appears to be Venus, and then there's the Earth behind it, the number 36, which actually correlates to the number 9. We've also got 136 on the Hierophant card, which is the number 10. So 9 and 10, 9 is actually part of something that I've been researching that I need to do more research on, but it's Nikola Tesla's 369 manifestation method, as well as there is a way to actually read cards based off of that, which is what I am trying to look up information on and trying to figure out. So I'm going to read the 8 of coins for you because I don't know why, but for some reason I feel like I need to. So we're just, it's not like there's not a lot in here. There isn't a lot of information when it comes to that. 5s, 3s, 9s, and 8s. Okay. 8s. The 8s are associated with Hod, which is the 4th house? I don't even know what house that is. I lied. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, so it says Hebrew meaning splendor. Mystic numbers is 36. The tree of life is the 5th plane left pillar. Which is interesting that card came out with the Hierophant, because when the original cards that I drew from the other deck, it came out on the left side, and that made me think about something. So one thing that I particularly know about in my own heritage, in my own research of things, is that there is a left-hand path and there is a right-hand path. Now, the left-hand path is said to be that of a lot of different people have it lots of different ways. Originally, it was, lefts were bad. If you think of Jewish tradition and Islamic things, left is bad, left is evil, left is wrong. All of my tattoos are on my right hand. For the longest time, I always told myself it was because I was left-handed. But the fact of the matter is I could have done those on my right hand if I wanted to. They are tiny, I did them myself, and they're not perfect. Now, all of these ones, again, being on my hand, I did when I was 18. It was probably about, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 months before I voluntarily admitted myself into a hospital. I was struggling with a lot of things, and I thought for some reason having faith and having these things by me would help. At the time, it didn't. Thinking back on it now, it actually really did, more than I realized. I've got the heart on my middle finger. Sorry, guys. I've got the heart on my middle finger. I told myself it was to tell everybody that, even when I flipped them off, it was that I still love you. But that's not the case. It's because I would rather give love than to tell people to screw off. I've got a cross right here. It goes along my side to show that God is always by my side. I've got the infinity sign here on my index finger to point and to let everybody know that, again, everything is connected. That is what you point with. Everything is connected. We've got stay strong right here, which is on my thumb. That one, honestly, I'm not particularly sure why I did that one there. I just chose to. Originally, though, I wanted a butterfly there, which, thinking back on it now, the fact that I wrote it the way that it's wrote, I wrote it the way that it's wrote. If I wanted to, I could get a butterfly perfectly on there, and it would match up perfectly. There's not a problem with it. And then finally, I've got a cross and an anchor, or I'm sorry, a wheel and an anchor here to symbolize, you know, I am my own. I'm my own driver. I'm my own person. I'm my own leader. I'm the only thing that will hold me down. Nobody else. It is all on me. So, with that being said, the fact that, you know, it's interesting that the Hierophant came out with on the left side, but he's looking towards the right and she's looking towards the left. They're looking towards each other at this middle. Now, these cards, when I had originally put them out, the Empress card was the one in the middle. Meaning, again, that that's where the balance is. That's where the balance lies. You have to come to that awakening, and you have to come to your awakening. You have to be that person so you and of yourself can have the balance that you need. So, again, we've got the other Hierophant card, which particularly on this one that I notice is, I don't know, I will have to look these up, but I don't know what god that is. So if anybody knows, that would be awesome. Part of me wants to say that that one is Osiris and that this one is Isis. And I'm not positive. So I apologize. But that's what I'm seeing first and foremost. Okay, so finish reading this. Ugh. Okay, so it says, fifth plane, left pillar, paths of the Sefer Yetzirah, absolute or perfect intelligence. The color purple is the king scale color. The complete practical attribution of Egyptian gods is Thoth. This is for your, this is for your 8 of coins. It says living beings, real and imaginary, hermaphrodite, jackal, twin serpents, monos, Ceros, day, Astris. Planets, real and imaginary, is Molly and plants. I'm sorry, not planets. Molly and something I cannot pronounce. Precious stones are opals, specifically fire opals. The magical weapons are the names and Versailles and apron. Vegetable drugs, Damnia, cannabis, indica, and Analala. I can't say that either. Magical powers, vision of splendor. Transcendental morality is truthfulness. So this is extremely important because it says that in order to transcend, you have to be truthful. Now, what is the card that we saw earlier? The 5 of Spades, which is a depiction of betrayal. You must get past that and the anxiety of the things that you have done, the anxiety and the fear of whatever it is that you have for you, so you don't do those betrayal. You don't lie. You don't do those things. You need to move past the lies, the betrayal, the deceit, the hatefulness, and the pridefulness in order to have your awakening. Being truthful doesn't necessarily mean telling the truth. It means being honest with yourself. You can say all day long that you tell the truth to other people, but do you tell the truth to yourself? That is what's important. The truth that you give to everybody else isn't what's going to help you become a better person. The truth that you give to yourself is what's going to help you become a better person. So with that being said, according to this, it says 8 of coins, titles and attributes, prudence, elements and senses, earth and touch, attribution on the pentagram, left lower point. Too cautious in minor things, but takes risks in more important matters, pennywise and pound foolish, receiving small amounts of cash, education. So again, this is more in and of itself about the education. And if you notice in this, I don't know which one that is. I'm going to have to look to see what this life path is up there. But if you look right here, he is hammering something in, and this reminds me of a show that I was watching. They called something called the Witch's Hammer. Now, the Witch's Hammer was what they used to perfectly put nails into a coffin with no bending, no struggle, just perfectly went in there. That is to develop, what is the word I'm thinking of? I can't think of the word. To develop, ooh, pretty flowers. They look like they're blue. I can't think of the word, but it's where, you know, like you work really hard at something and, I want to say perseverance, but that's not the word that I was thinking of, but we're just going to go with that one because that's the one that that's there. Okay, so last and final message, because my phone's about to die. It's at like 10%. So what is it? What is the one main thing they need to focus on in order to reach this awakening? What is the one thing we need to focus on in order to in order to reach our awakening? Now, as you see, we've got 3 different cards. We've got one in the middle, one on the left, and one on the right. So the one on the left, I'm going to assume, is obviously for... Oh, I lied. There's 2 cards on the left. Yay! Guys. Balance. Balance is what you need. The world. And the 10 of Swords. The vision of the Holy Guardian Angel, or of Adonia, Gemini, and the Sun. 55, Malkut is 10. We've got works of malediction and death, administrative intelligence. There's an Ankh with a crocodile in the world. The numbers would be 15. 15, that equals 6. Malkut and Yesod. Alrighty, okay, yeah. So you have to bring your awakening. You have to somehow figure out how to have the balance of what you don't like about yourself, what the things are that you've been working on, and bring them over to work for the world, if that makes sense. So we've got people in our lives who are amazing and capable of doing so many amazing things, but they're holding themselves back. We have to be able to see those things within ourselves so that we don't hold ourselves back anymore. On the Cancer sign. Okay. On the right side with our Judgment, we've got Cancer, the power of casting enchantments. Now, Cancer is all about emotion. It's all about flowing. That is actually the time that I believe that we are going into right now. I think that's what our sun is in at this moment. I believe, I'm not positive. I would have to look, but again, I'm on my phone and it's about to die, so I can't use it while I'm doing this right now, but I will look later. It's the Chariot card. So the one thing that is that I'm coming in, that I'm seeing, that I'm focusing on, is this circle right there. The circle of everything. The circle that all that is and all that isn't. Are those magnolias? I don't know what those are, but they're pretty. 7, 8, 9. It's 9. Okay, so I highly suggest that if you are interested, and if you want to really come into a new awakening, you want to reach the highest potential that you can be, both good and bad, to have your balance, you need to start doing what I have been doing, and that is doing research. Research on anything and everything that interests you, regardless of what it is. And the reason being is because you never know what will stick out to you. You never know what information you will find. Like, I have been researching multiple different things. I've had multiple different messages, particularly from myself, about being a certain flower, about following a certain path, about choosing and making a decision on whether or not I was going to do one thing or I was going to do the other. Now, following along that, I have actually realized that, again, you don't have to choose. Everything is connected. The one message that one person was trying to tell me, to be something and to make that decision, I don't have to make that decision. I don't have to be that thing. I can be both. Now, in the middle, we have your 6 of Wands, which is the vision of harmony of things. This is, I don't remember what signs those are, what zodiacs those are. Now, we've got a wand with a laurel wreath and a phoenix rising up out of the ashes. So, you want to be that phoenix. You want that vision. You want the best that you could possibly have for your life and for your family and for those that you love and those of your community. Educate yourself. Awaken yourself. Stop being blind. Stop following things that people tell you because they tell you that it's true. Figure out your own stuff. Figure out your own information. We are in a time that needs people of knowledge. We are in a time that needs people who can figure out and discern what is true and what is not. There's going to be a lot of us who are tarot readers, like and of myself, who follow the darker paths and who will work for the darker Lord. There are those of us who will have to hide ourselves. And I probably did the wrong thing when it came to deciding to start my YouTube channel. And the only reason I decided to do it was because I believed that there were people who needed to hear these messages because they were, in fact, following the wrong path that was not their choice to follow, was not their destined fate. And I realize that, fate is not something that everybody says that you make your own fate and you determine your own destiny. But honestly, that's not the truth. God is the one that determines your destiny, regardless of what you believe in, regardless of what your religion is. God is the one who is going to bring us into a new life, is going to bring us into something new. And guys, it's not going to be easy, okay? The Three of Cups. The first thing that I noticed is the vision of sorrow. You see here, we've got 3 women. It's the letter 6. That's the time that we're in now, guys. There are things coming to us. There are things that we can't see, and the only way to see them is to educate yourself, and the only way to get past them. Power of training wild beasts. Anyways, so that's all I really have for you guys today. Hopefully I will get this video uploaded before the night is over. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments down below. I did a pick-a-card reading the other day with this deck, and it is messages that people need to hear. However, with that being said, I don't know how to edit videos very well together, so it's going to take me a minute, unless any one of you would love to join me on this little journey and be a part of Lexi, baby, and be a part of this amazing group that I am hoping to create. So if you can edit videos, let me know. We would gladly appreciate it.
Do you want to say hi, Lexi? Say hi. Say bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.